Oh my god, I'm massive. Do you see that? Oh my god. I'm on roids. I'm on roids. I have to be. Oh my gosh. Do you see that, dude? What's up? What is up? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It is Armtillery Reloaded episode 2. We got some stuff. We're going to go over. I got a lot of people joining. Just sent out the link. I'll do it again if I need to. Going to go over a few topics, lots of topics today. I'm excited. Going to have Ben Freeman on and talk a little bit about his armed combat stuff. Have Edo Music, good old legendary Vulcan on. My good buddy Steve West. Someone drop a comment, a bicep, and let me know the audio is working and we're all good. Let's see if I can't update some of my peeps on here. Scott said it's not working. Well, what do you know? As soon as I say that, our first guest has arrived. The co-founder and leader of the Wild West Arms, Sir Scott West, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Carlson. Thank you, Stephen. Stephen, I sent you the link, brother. Scott, can you hear me? Scott's having some technical difficulties. Ed, I see Ed is in the chat. Maybe Ed might not be joining us because he's playing video games. But he just saw how jacked I was. Me and Ed had a crazy workout yesterday. I fired my CNS off too hard 2 days in a row. Now I feel like dog shit. The mic is not working for me. It probably automatically mutes you. Just look for the mic when you get on. All right, we already got 5 people in the chat. I'm going to wait for a few of the guys to get on before I make any of the announcements and stuff. Might have a few call outs. We might. It's a possibility. Another key piece to the Wild West Arms, Mr. Steve West, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, baby?
What's going on, dog?
How you doing?
Bro, did you see how jacked I look? Look at this shit, dude. I'm fucking huge.
Put those down.
Look at that. Now. Look at I'm getting like you guys are in trouble. You guys are in trouble.
A lot of trouble, bro. A lot of trouble. I'm just trying to work on that. Right there.
That is never a bad idea.
How's your day?
I'll get on. Give me a minute to flip this desk. Ed, when I was working out with him yesterday, he was telling me how big of a hassle it was to go on live because of the scenario. And if you could see what I have out in front of me just to make it work, I've got like a TV tray set up with books and stuff stacking on it. So it's like level and yeah, it's ridiculous.
I had my computer worked on not too long ago. So if I don't know if the sound is working okay. Can you hear me all right?
Perfect.
Okay, good.
I feel your pain though, Edo. Everyday arm wrestler. That's Mr. Luis Barrera. What's up, baby?
What's up, baby?
If I have enough space, I'll shoot you a link. You can come chat with us. But there's like, I think to the max many people that I've invited now. So yeah, my day was good. I just said it right before you got on. I had a crazy workout on Wednesday for myself, and I went pretty damn hard. And then yesterday, me and Ed had like a 2.5-hour workout where, the intensity wasn't the highest the entire time, but like in spurts, we're doing this heavy weight. So my CNS is taxed over the last 2 days. And I woke up feeling like shit, man, like just like worn down and weak. And And yeah, so I'm definitely okay to rest today. I'm probably not going to pull it all tomorrow. I'm really excited to just sit down, relax, watch some matches for the East versus West.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go, Ron Flanick. What's up, baby? Long time no see, man. You're doing
How's it going,
well.
baby?
But yeah, feel free to anybody that's watching in the chat, throw any of your predictions up for tomorrow if you're going to be watching. Obviously, big shout out to John Brezink and to the Todd father going for Team USA here.
Drawing first blood.
Yeah, that was hilarious, wasn't it?
That was funny, man. Yeah.
Mike says need permission. Well, give it permission then. Say that as soon as he gets on.
What?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh no! Now we're all gonna look small. Put them up.
Yeah, let's see. You got to turn your. Oh Jesus! Oh, that's still way. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Oh. Yeah, God. And aren't you light right now?
What do you mean light?
Like in weight?
I'm 230 right now.
Yeah, go. Your mother's an astronaut. Okay. Have you ever seen that movie? White Men Can't Jump.
Yeah.
Scott West, ladies and gentlemen, the coach, the man, the myth of Wild West Arms.
How's it going?
It's good, man. How's your day? How you doing?
Not too bad. Just got back from the gym about an hour ago.
Oh, hell yeah. What do you hit?
I was just doing blood flow. Light work. You know, I don't want to hit too heavy.
Are you practicing this weekend with your guys?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think anybody's having a practice this weekend, honestly.
No, I don't think so.
It's a good time for everybody to just rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty excited for the two practices coming up on the 27th and the 3rd. Not too far off. So
yeah, that's probably also what a lot of people have in mind too, is how hard they're gonna go here in the next month or so.
Yep. We got Clayton Merrick. Both you guys are looking big. Steve, let's just come up with a date for our match, and I will work around with anything at this point. Still no news about East, so fuck it.
There you go.
So Clayton doesn't know if he's going to the East to work on a fire, so he's wanting to put a date together for our match, which will be ranking number 3 in 198.
Nice.
Yeah, looking forward to that one for sure. I think since I'm pulling with Edo on the practice 27th, even though it's just a practice, still a ready go, maybe a couple weeks out from that, if that works, Clayton. You guys agree?
Yeah, sounds good to me. For anyone that doesn't know, that would be for the rankings, meaning you would weigh in. It would automatically be best of 5 WAF rules. And then, yeah, so that sounds good to me. And then, also weekend from today, Steve has some practice ready goes that we're going to be doing with the legendary Vulcan, Sir Edo Music. So, and then what, if that's February 3rd, if you were to do that with Clayton, and then literally a month later, you've got Battle of the Brave, or the East versus West qualifier, it's being called. And then 2 weeks after that, you've got Vegas. So Steve's a busy boy, man.
We're busy, baby. But if you want to get in places, right?
Yeah, starting 2024 off. Yeah. It says Cam the Champ. I think Reno takes the first or second round, but Ivan takes the match. Ivan Matyushenko, an absolute legend of the sport. I will never in my life bet against that guy. And that Reno dude, I don't even think he's legal to drink.
Wow, really?
He's so young. Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's there says it all. But once again, I'm gonna have to go with my man Matyushenko on that.
Yeah.
Waiting for which in about 5 minutes he's gonna jump on Ben Freeman, our good friend Ben Freeman, and he's gonna come on and talk to us a little bit about his armed combat stuff and what he's got going on. Thought this would be a nice plug for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but other than that, we're gonna have Ed jump on. I also might have the super heavyweight, and he's probably listening in. If you want to come on, bro, you're more than welcome to. But the super heavyweight that I just added to the So Strong chat that we arm wrestled in Scottsdale, but he wasn't a super heavyweight. Stephen Milne, down in Flagstaff. Him and Cody are antsy. They've got some people they want to call out, and they got some people that they want to try to get. But I just want to find a good time because, like I just said with Steve, Arizona is so busy and a lot of what's going on is so condensed in time. It would be hard to come up with a date for it, but we could definitely talk to him about what he's got in mind.
I'm really excited for both those guys to come down and pull with us, man. I had the opportunity to pull with Stephen. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly.
Right.
At the Fit Expo in Scottsdale. And round one, I went up against him, and I don't know what I did, but he got the better of me. He took it, and I was like, damn, I'm going to have to meet him again. And I had to go through 7 matches of wins to meet him up against the final. And then I was able to readjust and take the 2 wins. But he's a strong man. He's a very, very, very strong man. Very big.
Yeah, big old corn-fed white boy he is. When he's probably like 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
I don't know how old he is, but he doesn't look old. He looks like a young dude still, and apparently he's gotten into some of those them good corn bags down there because he's like 250, 260 now.
I was just about to say, I think I'm just have to start eating some corn.
Yeah,
that's the kicker right there. The corn.
Clayton Merrick, I'm good with that. So that would be the 10th. Waiting to hear back from Dustin Allen to see whether or not he wants to do Miguel versus Carl at the Battle of the Brave event as kind of like a super match starter. If that does not happen, it was supposed to be on the 10th in Miguel's driveway. So there's a definite possibility that we put some matches together on the 10th. But this is definitely one of the topics that I wanted to talk about today. And obviously once Ed gets on and stuff like that, but just, spacing out your time efficiently when it comes to competing here in the next 2 months for everyone listening, and obviously here, us 3, but when it comes to strength training for a competition, you want to make sure to give yourself, especially if you're like a year to 2 years into this sport, you want to give yourself a solid 10 days prior to a big, tough tournament to let everything kind of settle. Now, that was really hard for me when I was like at my peak of working out because I worked out 5-6 times a week sometimes. So I felt antsy, but I'm telling you right now, muscles heal differently than tendons and ligaments. So give yourself 10 days, a little bit more than a week. Some people even do 2 weeks and, to fully feel good before a competition. So with that being said, you've got February 3rd, we've got super matches and probably a massive practice everyone's going to themselves at. Then you've got February 10th. That's another potential arm wrestling super matches here in Arizona with probably another practice. Then from that point forward, you basically have a little under 20, just about 20 days before the local tournament. So you've got about 10 days of strength training that you can do in February, other than those practices, before you've got to take a break and then getting yourself ready for the Battle of the Brave. Now, if you're a part of the group and there's interest, a lot of us, me included, are trying our hardest to go to Vegas, which is March 16th. So if you compete in March 16th, that is exactly 2 weeks from the date of the Battle of the Brave. So I would recommend not doing any strength training from that point to that point.
Right.
And then you've got April and May, and then all of a sudden June 1st, Arizona State's here. So I would like to introduce the owner, the founder, the maker of some of the dopest handles that I used in my last video. Go check it out. Arm Combat. He makes some really good stuff. Mr. Big Ben Freeman, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, baby?
What up,
Can
Ben?
you hear us?
Thank you guys for having me. First time on a stream.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you. We also have another joining guest here. Everyone's familiar with the legendary one himself.
Howdy, fellas.
What's up, big
Hey, I'm
man?
not the smallest guy in the feed anymore.
This is. I'm like right next. This is the distance to my wall right now.
You're crunched.
Howdy, fellas.
What up, buddy?
Before
So
we get
speaking
into it, we
of
got
high
some.
handles and the legendary one, real quick. I gotta say that 140 you did on the wrist spinner, that is impressive, sir.
Hell yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, he was feeling saucy last night. I mean, we before we walked in the gym, Ed's first words were to me were, "I'm ready to kind of go ape shit, balls to the wall," if you know what I mean. And I was like, "Let's do it, Tom."
I think I said let's go full retard on one lift.
Yeah,
I'm.
and I think we did more than one lift for sure. We got in the chat. Clayton Merrick, Cody Addison asked me to do a call out for him. He wants Alec McManus. Well, I'm sorry, Clayton and Cody, but that's not how this works. So you're gonna have to get your ass on here, Cody. If you're listening,
You don't get to
DM
have
me.
representatives.
Yeah, one of the very first things I put was don't DM me about somebody else. You're not anybody's agent or manager. Okay, get your ass on here and make a call out.
Do the
That's
legwork.
a big
William Pennington in the chat. Let's go, AZ, representing, baby. Good to see you, baby.
That's a big match, though. Cody taking on Alex McManus. That's a big jump. Alex is no joke.
Alex is no joke.
No.
No joke at all. I'm wondering, actually, since they're up in Flagstaff, and then you got the Matas off of in Prescott, has Cody pulled with Jesus, and how does that go?
Oh, I would be willing to bet you Jesus gets the upper hand.
Well, Alex just beat Jesus, right?
Yeah, but that was a very close match. There was a lot of fouls involved.
That was very close.
Yeah. Steve Milne, I'm 6'4", 260, and I'm 33 years old. Nice to meet y'all. Okay, so you're fucking my age, so there you go. And I got gray in my face, bro.
Yeah, so that's about my size, a little smaller.
Yeah, are you familiar with him, Ben?
No, I believe that is the new Flagstaff guy.
Correct.
Or he came out from somewhere.
Is he the lumberjack guy?
Yeah.
That's the guy.
Yeah, that's him.
Strong dude. Really strong.
Strong
Sounds
dude.
strong.
I would maybe not commit to the, that so much right away.
Yeah, or the press. Now, I will say when you're a big, strong dude and you don't have a whole lot of people telling you how to arm wrestle and you see online that move happening a lot, monkey see, monkey do, right? But I will say as a starter, as a newbie, someone who's not been in the sport a year, putting all that stress on your inner elbow at the very beginning is going to make your journey a lot shorter as far as pain and recovery and things like that. So
Tell that to Will Pennington.
I think
that guy's just.
That is very true.
One person on the feed right now that does that forward press more than anyone is probably stronger than any of us on it. That'd be Scott. How do you feel, Scott? How do you feel, Coach, when it comes to learning the press in the beginning of your arm wrestling career versus navigating through the other strengths and then getting to that position?
Well, in the beginning, I was more of a top roller, but when I started doing pressing, when I went to New Mexico, it was just a different technique that I had to try to figure out to be the best there in New Mexico. It did feel a little bit of pain, but at the same time, the adrenaline's going. So just doing all that, the exercise and stuff to help the blood flow with that too. I don't mind it. I actually love doing the press, honestly. Once I get in that comfortable spot, it's just like, I just feel great.
I think, like I said, big, strong dudes, they feel comfortable there, especially people who have a lot of front delt, a lot of pressing power, that kind of stuff. And I will also say that now going forward into 2024, how evolved arm wrestling has become. How many is that you, Steve?
What?
Someone's getting the messages.
Yeah, that's me.
Can you turn your phone on silent for that?
It's not even my phone, it's my computer.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, sorry.
Nice. I was gonna say, but like the press is becoming so it's like almost the best way to finish a match now. I mean, you bring somebody over with a top roll and then you just kind of bring your shoulder to finish the rest. You're seeing it more and more and more and more now. So it's definitely needed. It's definitely You should work on it. It freaks me out to see people doing it in their first,
For me, that first transition, if you're going already down the table and you try to come up super fast, if you don't do it correctly, that'll hurt. That's very painful.
Oh yeah.
If you don't do it correctly,
Oh yeah.
that's a smooth transition. But
How about we put this Steven Milton guy against maybe like a Ben or someone because he's 260.
Well, that's kind of the reason why I'd asked Ben if he was familiar with him, because that was someone that I had. So let's actually take a look.
Yeah, Ben will probably smash him anyway.
Let's take a look at these rankings that we got here.
Stirring the pot.
Come on, that's good for that. So 242 plus, you've got Steven at number 9. You've got Ben at number 8.
That's actually what I was just looking for. I knew you put up an updated list, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, so from 10, it goes Lawrence B. Moyer. Number 9 would be Steven. And then number 8 would be Ben. Number 7, Leander. Number 6, Ryan Carrillo. Number 4, Tim Costello. So I'm going to say Leander and up is probably too much for him as far as just right off eyes. I mean,
how much experience does this guy have?
Leander doesn't want a match, by the way. Leander doesn't want super matches. He just wants to do tournaments. But you said what, Ed? I'm sorry?
Fit Expo. The Fit Expo was his first tournament, I believe.
For this Steven guy?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, how did he do? Do we know?
That was in Scottsdale. He came in second place behind me.
Yeah.
So that's pretty damn good.
But he didn't pull super.
He was strong. He's a big boy for real. Now he's 250, like he said. But at the time, I want to say the cutoff was 220, and he met me there, and he beat me round 1, and then I had to get a bunch of wins to go back to the championship, and I just recorrected, and I was able to get it. So, but he's a very strong. I would imagine with the extra weight, and now a few more months, 6 more months of experience, he probably has adapted a little bit.
Let's get this guy on here.
Yeah, I think we should.
I'm always down for a match, but if he's giving Steve problems before he gains some weight,
John, I have a quick question. So
Yes.
the ranking list that you have, if Leander doesn't want to do super matches, do you think she should be on the list? If this list is pretty much just super matches, it's not necessarily a tournament ranking.
No, because tournaments technically are going to play a factor into it. It's just that I wanted to be clear that with the tournaments, there's certain things that do the tournaments, to me, thing gets a little sticky. Like I said, if it's a fair, very clear on video win, or everyone's there and witnesses it, and it's just like that's a win, no questions about it, then that's going to count towards the rankings as far as you beating somebody. But if there's like a caveat with you winning on rules, or it's a controversial, like one of the refs was this or that, then I'm not going to move the rankings. I'm going to leave them the way they are. You know what I mean? But to say that tournaments don't count, when tournaments are going to be a big part and a big piece of what keeps people active, I personally, would much rather people stay active through tournaments than small garage driveway super matches. But if it is that way, then to keep people active and practicing and motivated, because like I told Ed last night, man, look how much just a little bit of push has done. I put out arm wrestling rankings 2 weeks ago or whatever it was, less than 10 days ago. And look how much movement, look how much activity, look how much motivation has come. It's the same thing as every single new year when everyone goes to the gym. New year, new me. I've got all these arm wrestlers coming out the woodworks texting me, "Oh, I want to practice. Oh, I want to train with you. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a year. You're gonna have to prove it. You're gonna have to come out here and you're gonna have to practice with us, or you're gonna have to show it." You know what I mean?
Quick little point on the tournament versus super matches thing is it also gets a little tricky in certain situations where you can be matched up with a guy and get a win against the guy who's very fatigued, who maybe had a tougher bracket than you. And also it's a one-off versus a 3-round super match. So it is, I see why it needs to matter, but at the same time, it can't be just like the be all end all.
Right. And for the most part, if you're taking place in the tournaments in Arizona, you're active enough, in my opinion, because there'll probably be 4 of the entire year. If you arm wrestle competitively 4 to 5 times throughout the year, then you're on your way to becoming to me from somewhere to high level amateur to low level pro. If you're
I
serious,
remember
go
I
ahead.
remember Caleb did a poll on Facebook saying, should tournament wins count for rankings? And like I think the majority said yes. I think California's problem was there was not enough super matches,
Right.
and doing the rankings was, nobody wanted to
Yeah, and
do stuff.
that's why I wanted to make it very clear to everybody watching, so that I can say this until I'm blue in the face. I don't have anything to do with you wanting to arm wrestle somebody else. All I did was put out a piece of paper to stir the pot. All I did was put out some rankings so everybody could see, hey, this guy that everyone seems to respect as far as him being in arm wrestling, he put out this list of where he thinks I fall. And now with that, his peers also go by this list. And now with that, I think the guy who's right above me, I think I can bust his ass. Just go do it then. Come on here. Get on the live. We will support you. We'll instigate it. We'll WWE it. I'll get sound effects if you want, whatever you guys want. But this is your platform to do so. Stay active through this. But your motivation, your discipline, your determination, your dedication, it all comes through you. You have to be willing to want to do this. We're not going to push you. So once again, it brings me back to the whole, I'm going to make a call out for Cody. No, that's not how this works. You want somebody, you make the call out as a man, and you either do it on here or you do it on the chat or you do it through a DM through the person. And then after you've done that, we just got to come up with a date. You two got to come up with a date and hit me up. And that's the end of it.
What about for this guy? What about Tim Costello or Ryan Carrillo?
No,
he's super heavyweight anyway.
That's why I said I feel like anybody above Leander would probably be too much of a.
I was going to say Lawrence might be the one then, because honestly, that's still a little funky on that. He should be over me. I am definitely under Lawrence in terms of. I've never beaten Lawrence a day in my life. Actually, technically, I got a right-handed win on him, but again, it was after a war he had with Leander. Back to my point about tournaments aren't the be-all, end-all.
Maybe you should have a match with Lawrence then.
Yeah, I think that's the match.
It's in the works soon. I've been chasing him. Put it that way. He's in my sights.
They practice a lot. At practice.
Oh yeah, so it's tricky.
They grab on at practice all the time. You see them transitioning and learning from each other, which is awesome.
Tell me seriously, Scott and Steve. Who do you think takes arm wrestling more seriously?
Ben.
I know it. I mean, he has his own fucking arm wrestling company. No offense to Lawrence. He's a big, strong dude. But when you're talking about training for the sport, involvement in the sport, someone that's going to be around longer, that treats this with a little bit more dedication, I look at it as Ben. That's the only reason why I put Ben above Lawrence, because I would like to see that change. So that maybe motivate Lawrence to say, okay, well, I beat up on Ben in practice, or I think I can beat him. So let's make that shit happen, right?
That's
just because you get your ass kicked in practice doesn't mean he's going to win a match against you.
That's true. Also, random fact, he is also on his way down. He has things his way in a month or two. He shouldn't even be a super heavy no more.
Okay, well, good for him.
For what's he going down? 242?
Yes, I believe he's like right at like 250. I believe he almost made the cut at the Scottsdale.
Yeah,
they just he had a sweatsuit on. They just didn't give him like any allowance at all. He was trying
to see. I was getting my refereeing certification when he walked in, and he had a pound to make. And Leonard looked at him, and he goes, "No."
Yeah,
and Lawrence was like, what? Like, let me fucking make it. And he was like, no.
Leonard doesn't give two fucks.
Yeah, I don't think he knew who Leonard was. And
I thought it was kind of harsh.
He went back and cut it, and he literally didn't make it. And I remember feeling so bad for him, man.
That's crazy.
That he'd been doing it for like
Leonard is legit.
Hours.
Well, then I think that being said, I think that Steven, sorry, man, again, he said no AZ State was my first. I took third at AZ State and then second at the Fit Expo in Scottsdale. He should just try to get on the ranking list. And I think that, if you and Lawrence are going to have a match, whoever loses that match should be the first one that Steven goes after.
Well, maybe I'm
down to have a match. My only issue right now is, speaking of like dedication, I've got 5 tournaments planned in the next 5 months.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to do it, but we gotta work around a few
All
things.
right, I just messaged Tim Costello if he wants a match. Let's just pair him off with Tim and just see where he's at.
Yeah, but Tim's top 5 already.
Well, this guy might be top 3 for all we know.
Yeah.
He does sound
Just-
pretty good,
Ben,
according to Steve.
Ben, what?
I got crushed by Ryan. And recently in practice, me and Tim said we were pretty close. And then Tim pulled it out on Ryan. I'm like, I don't know if maybe I did something wrong or Tim found a lane. Maybe I didn't.
Styles
I'm not saying I'm that close, but
The thing with Tim and that Ryan match, though, it's like Tim is willing to break his arm to win a round. Ryan is not going to do that. So that's one reason that Tim won too.
and with the way the first 2 went, I wouldn't have expected to pull him out. Like the first 2 wins were pretty dominant,
Yeah.
and he came back.
You saw in one of the rounds that Ryan just kind of gave it up.
Yeah.
Styles also make matches.
That's true too.
Hand dominance versus styles go very far in certain matches. Ben, you said you've got so many tournaments lined up. Let's hear what your agenda is like for 2024.
I've actually got my calendar in front of me. I have Salt Lake. Am I in the wrong month? No, that's not. Yeah, I got Salt Lake City on the 17th. Utah doing that this year. I missed it last year. I have 2 weeks after that doing Battle of the Brave.
Right.
April 14th ish. I forget which. For some reason, my calendar is not working. Not showing any of my stuff. There's the UAL in Somerton.
Where's that? California?
No, it's might as well be. It's on the border. It's like by Yuma, Somerton, Arizona.
I know what you're
It's like
talking
3 or
about.
4 hours away.
It's the Phil Collins one. And then like 3 weeks after that is, I believe Steve has a super match there. There's the Mexicali Greg Brown event.
Right.
And then about a month after that on June is the Arizona State. So from February to June, I've got 5 tournaments, some only 2-3 weeks apart.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, that's really smart, and I'm glad that you brought that up.
Oh, you see that?
Ooh, Dino. I like it, Dino.
Oh,
but I'm glad that you
left
brought
arm
that up.
says.
I'm glad that
Now
you
it's
brought
working.
that
Just
up.
real quick, not to interrupt you, but now it's working since I got my date. So it's February 17th, Utah, March 2nd for Battle of the Brave, which is also the qualifier, April 13th for the UAL, March 4th or May 4th for the Mexicali, and Arizona State on the 1st of June.
Now, I want to talk about that Somerton one because technically for everybody listening, if you're looking for Arizona tournaments and you are technically not able to travel or you're in your first year or whatever, that's a great opportunity. I kind of wrote that one off based on all the things that I wanted to do this year. But now that you're bringing it back up, that's actually a good opportunity that there's maybe some of the Mexicali guys go to that.
Not that, but I think some of the Cali guys might come over.
Well,
It's close to the border at least.
Yeah, but the only thing is it's UAL. So you might have a good opportunity because they know the UAL guy, but that also might hinder them because he throws like 19 tournaments in California a year. So they're not really hurting by doing that. But I also don't know how close it is. I'll have to look. But that is very true. It's a good opportunity for Mexicali guys, some California guys to show up to that. I can't imagine it's going to be a massive Arizona turnout because of where it is. But there's enough time out. I'm wondering if we should try to put together a little trip, a little trip out there, like day trip, where it's just all of us mob out for 8 hours and then come back that night or something like that, because that's really easy to do when it's in state. I don't really
think about renting a Tesla.
Oh, there we go.
If you're saving the gas.
Arm Wrestling Showcase, aka Dino Muslik, aka the little legendary one, or the Edo's brother Dino here. Stephen Milne versus me, left arm, February 3rd. Can we do?
I will take him right that same day. I'll go ahead and.
Oh my God!
2 weeks out, and it's 2 weeks before Arizona. Or it's 2 weeks before Utah, but I will throw my hat in that ring.
I love this. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds
That's why
cool.
we're doing this, baby.
Okay, so I'm adding this to the list.
Because if for some reason he does blow through me quick, it at least gets me out the way and he can move up the list, or who knows, I might stop Ministrax. We'll see what happens.
And you know where you lie then at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay,
Cool,
so I'm
so
writing
yeah.
this down. I will, if you don't hear, if you hear this in the chat right here, Steven, please confirm. But what we're doing right now would be Stephen Milne's right arm is injured now.
No,
No,
Dino's talking
that's
about his
Dino.
arm.
Yeah.
Oh, Dino's right arm is injured.
Dino's right.
Okay.
Yeah, so if he's willing to do it both, he could take Dino left, me right.
Okay, so if you're cool with that, Steven, throw it up in the chat. We'll confirm that. And then I can put Dino down right here.
Are we doing that the third?
Yeah, buddy.
But say that's the same as
yeah.
the Ed Steve too, right?
So
that's the Ed John Carlson match.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about some of these matches right now. Obviously, next weekend, the 27th or the 26th, which will be, I want to talk about and have some of the opponents on together so they can do some back and forth. It being a week out, I'm sure a lot of them guys will be resting at that point. But you have a potential Greg Brown if he's in town versus the Mikhail Urin, our friend from Ukraine.
Nice.
Right-handed and left-handed. You would have Edo Muslik versus John Carlson, left-handed. I'm almost positive John's going to pull somebody right-handed.
Isn't it Jesus Mata?
It is Jesus Mata, I thought.
That's if they come. That was never confirmed because that was supposed to be a rankings match. And John DM'd me and let me know that he would not be under the 198 weight in order to meet.
Yeah, he's going to be like 215.
Yeah. So if he wants a match right-handed, I'd be happy to.
Yeah. What if the other guy is 198, one guy is 215, but they both agree it's for 198 ranking? What about
John
that?
Carlson,
I'll
John
say
Carlson,
here he is.
yeah. Jesus for $100. Done. Love that. Jesus versus John right-handed. Man, we got to find some matches.
We agree on over 198. There you go. Yeah. Do it for 220 ranking.
Walks around like 205 or 210.
Hey, just confirm that.
No. What we can do is we will have them both weigh in. And if there's less than a 5-pound weight discrepancy, I'm just going to change their rankings on what it is. I'm just going to switch the names. That's all I'm literally going to do is just go like this. Because what you're telling me is you both walk around heavy, but if it was for a tournament, then you'd prioritize to make 198.
So are you going to count John Carlson for 220 and 198 rankings?
Well, he shouldn't be in both. No, that's another good point. You will never be ranked in 2 weight classes.
So this really won't be for ranking because they're both 198ers.
But that's what I'm saying is they're both making it sound like they're agreeing to do this
because they would normally go to 198.
Because they would normally go to 198, but they're not willing to make the weight cut for the super match because of how close in time it is. I'll be 210, 215 because I have Tim Lewis on the 12th at 215 cap. Yeah, but it just depends on what Jesus is. If Jesus is like under 200 pounds, then I'm not changing the weight rankings at all.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, if Jesus is like 210 or 205, then it should count for 198 rankings.
I'm just switching their names.
Yeah. Steven agreed. He said, let's get it. You got both those confirmed.
We also have Octavian versus Camber O'Callahan on the left hand.
We do. Cam's asking me, Steve West, what are your predictions on my match with Octavian? Stand a chance or slaughtered?
Ooh.
Who wants to take this one?
I'll take it. I say slaughter.
I love your art, man, but Ock is a beast.
Ock is a damn monster.
Up in the game, bro. You're starting super young. I think you got a super strong hand. You're working with a lot of good guys. But Octavian's been doing this for a long time. He works that left hand super like legit. And he just beat Tim Stepp, didn't he? Left arm?
Oh, yeah.
Was it pretty easy? I wasn't there for that one.
Tim held him for a few seconds, but he never broke center table. He was full control for Ock.
Now, what's the weight discrepancy between Tim and Ock? Because Tim is not 155 pounds.
No.
Neither is Ock. Ock is surprisingly heavy. I think Ock's like 170, 180 almost.
No, Ock is a 155er.
I swear when I was talking to him, maybe I got that wrong, but I swear he was heavier. He was at least in the 70s. Maybe I got that wrong.
No, he's like 158 on a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
But
what he
so,
does.
yeah, Cam, we love you, dude. And I'm so happy for your potential and how you're so young in this and working hard. But you did jump to like one of the
that's
best
big.
left hands in. I mean, dude, he gave Levi
That-
McKnight a hard time. And that was, quite some time ago. And so that's a nationally ranked puller on the left hand.
Yeah, I think Levi at that time was a top 20 guy.
His
Yeah.
top 16 right arm. Yeah.
So if you beat Octavian, I want you to know how high everybody's going to be on you. But I will say this: we expect you to lose. So learn as much as you can as you do this, because that is the most important part about this. Don't get down on yourself if you lose. Don't say, "Oh my God, I suck," or "I need to stop doing this because I lost to one of the literal best left hands in the state." You need to take it with a grain of salt. You need to watch it. You need to get it on camera. Make sure it's on camera. And you need to go back and you need to watch it a million times so that you know, man, I just got to work harder, but this is my target. Put that guy up on your wall, put a target behind him, whatever you got to do, but you've got your hands full, man. you've got your hand full.
You got your hand full.
We got Dustin Poston versus Josiah that same day.
Man, I'm excited for that one.
And then we also got probably the one I'm most excited for because I understand the level of intensity that's going to be behind this. Juggernaut versus Marcus left-handed.
Ooh.
Wait, who's Marcus?
Match.
Marcus is the guy that works with the Matas.
Marcus Evil.
Oh, that guy. Oh, yeah, that guy's going to get destroyed.
They pulled for, I think it was for the finals at Arizona State for the left hand. Is this left or right?
left.
Left hand, and it's for money too. It's like $1,000.
It's $1,000.
And by the way, Edo, Marcus beat him in the finals.
Oh yeah, you can go back. You can go back and watch that match too.
Wow.
It was good.
It was one of the ugliest things I've ever seen. He was fully back here and just side pressured him over from a losing position. Did Marcus? I was blown away. Regan looked blown away. Regan couldn't believe it.
That'll definitely be the difference for sure. Is going to be experience on the table. I think that's probably, and I know that we're going to get these guys on, but that's probably what is making me think that Juggernaut might have the advantage here because of who he's been training with and how he's learning all the different mechanics of arm wrestling versus a one-trick pony, which I used to be for a long time. Which, I mean, Marcus is super strong side pressure. It's ridiculous. I can't stop his left at all. Even though he's a one-trick, I can't stop it. But Juggernaut, they had a really good match at AZ State. And I know that Jug has been working really hard with some big names. So that'll be an exciting match.
Who's the one that wanted the $1,000 in there?
I do not know. I do believe that
Whoever that was, I'm voting for that guy because he's confident.
This is
a lot of money.
This is what I come to understand. So when I had talked to Reagan, Juggernaut, I don't know how to properly pronounce his island name, so I'm not going to do that. But
I don't even know if it was Regan or Reagan. I always call him Regan.
Definitely one of
I
the
don't mess that up either.
Definitely one of the strongest, coming into arm wrestling without any experience. The size of his hand is just incredible. But he has the very great opportunity of arm wrestling with John Brzezinski and getting personal phone calls to come and do one-on-one training with John because of the size of his hand. Dustin Allen, who's also a legit super heavyweight in the state, very high on him. Eric Wolf, very high on him. So he has a lot of opportunity, a lot of potential. And working with these guys, you can obviously tell he's learning the ins and outs, not only of the table, but the business side of it. And that's why I'm bringing this up is he goes, so I was bringing up Tito and I was talking to him about how I wanted to see him and Tito on the rankings versus each other. And he goes, okay, so how do we do this money wise? And I'm like, whoa, I didn't say nothing about that. I was like, you guys want to hash that out between each other? That's up to you, but this is just for the rankings. And then he had brought up kind of how John is schooling him on how to go about these things because John is expecting Reagan to start getting some legit call outs from some legit names here very soon. I'm guessing in the year 2024, we're going to see Reagan come out of his butterfly shell and probably become top 3 in the state, if not maybe higher, who knows, on the things that he can do. And if he continues to work with those people and with his natural abilities, I don't doubt it. It's the same thing as like when Big Mark came into the sport. I use him as the greatest example of comparison. A 6'6" hand, no one compares to, doesn't know what he's doing, but you give him a little bit of obsession. You light a fire under him just a little bit, and with his natural gifted abilities, he's like 3 years in, I think, maybe less, and he's already top 3 in Texas, top 5 in Texas.
Mark is going to have a match, I think, with Wayne Withers.
Wayne Withers, you
That
see
in
that?
the comments today, yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, I saw that. I was like, whoa, that might be a step up.
Maybe a little bit too much.
You talk about
Dustin.
hands. You talk about hands. Wayne Withers has got
Monster
the
hands.
biggest.
I wasn't expecting him to beat Dustin Allen when he subbed in for that match. And so, I mean, who knows what he could do now?
That's what I mean.
And that was even still like 6 months ago.
Yeah, exactly. And so sky is the limit for Reagan. And so we really don't know what, I think really for those guys, the limiting factor is the determination and dedication. How in it are they? How willing, invested are they to work at this day in and day out to separate themselves? Because the hand on that guy, yeah. It is by far the biggest hand in the state. As far as an arm wrestler goes, there's nobody that's even close, in my opinion, from what I felt.
Talk about Reagan?
Yeah.
I pulled him a couple times. Like, I'm not saying my hand's crazy big, but like, not saying he doesn't have a crazy hand, but like didn't like particularly stand out to me. But also, again, everyone said about John Brzezink's thumb, and I didn't think it felt anything particularly crazy.
You're weird.
Honestly.
Yeah, you're just
Hey,
weird.
maybe my hand is just that big. A lot of people tell me I got a big ass hand. Talk about my big old thumb.
You do got a
Dude, bro, yeah.
There's only been 1 or 2 hands in my whole life that I've grabbed up where I go like, "Oh, you've got a big hand to me."
Yeah.
Like,
Have
big
you ever,
right, that guy's got a big hand.
well,
Ever measure your hand, Ben?
He's got a thick hand.
Probably yes.
He's got a bear paw thick hand,
Yeah,
but
no,
like
it's
lengthwise, it's not anything that special to me lengthwise. But bear paw wise, yeah, his hand is massive.
Yeah,
Now,
it's like from here to here, it's really long, right?
Yeah.
have you ever arm wrestled Nathan Brown, Ben?
Yes. It's been a long time. He's one of those guys that just does not show up enough.
No. Thank you for saying that once again.
Banana fingers, though. Banana fingers.
Oh, yeah. No, huge hands, big paws.
Is that a tape measure?
Yeah. You asked.
Yeah,
me.
measure your hand. I got mine right here, too.
Keep going, boys. I'll be right back.
There's a little mark on the 3-inch. It came like that.
Steven, my right is in top shape and left. That's good, man. That's good.
I am at 7.5 inches from top to middle.
I was about to announce that you beat me to it. Apparently, I got a full inch on you. I'm exactly 8.5
Oh,
from base of the palm to tip of the
there you
middle.
go.
Why do you keep on looking down, Ben, when you're saying that?
Because my tape measure is laying down on my desk, so it's like I can't. I don't know how you want me
I'm
to do
messing with you, bro. I'm messing with you.
How
it. Oh, I see.
inappropriate.
Yeah. No. I wish.
How are you
Scott, how
feeling?
you feeling, baby? How are your arms doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good.
What are the thoughts about being able to see you this year on a table? Do you think that you're going to be able to bless us with your presence?
Yeah,
Who are you going to call out, Scott?
and I'm not calling out nobody.
Okay.
I don't need to. I'm more of a. I'm sorry. You can put me on a ranking list all you want to. If somebody's going to call me out, that's fine. I don't mind it. I'll accept it. I'm more of a tournament guy, not a super match guy.
So that's great because that's exactly what you were saying about the whole Leander thing.
Yeah.
So would you like to see yourself on the rankings list as someone being a tournament forward puller?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do both. Like I said, if somebody's going to call me out, fine. I'll arm wrestle. I'm not going to back down.
It's very much the same way I kind of look at Ron. You're not going to catch Ron calling anybody out, but he's probably in due time going to have some of us chasing him. You know what I mean? He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Cody Addison, what's up? I want to call Alex McManus. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to see. That's what I'm talking about. Let's actually, with that, I want to knock out some of the topics before we start getting in too deep. First and foremost, the whole point of having him on here was, Ben, I wanted you to kind of talk to us a little bit about armed combat, what your focus for 2024 is with it, some of the handles that you have that are getting some of the better sellers, that kind of stuff. So please.
Funny enough, right now, just because it was in your video, that the wrist spinner is actually going pretty hot right now. And I
Yeah?
really like that personally. Also got some advice Joseph recently gave me about how to use it specifically as well. Joseph Moranto, he really likes that one as well.
Okay.
That's also one of the reasons why I'm doing so many of the tournaments, is because that's also a part of me trying to get out there, get my name around. I'm gonna take some products with me, try and network, as they say.
Yeah.
So yeah, right now I'm just trying to mostly just get my name out there. So far, everyone that's had their hands on my stuff seems to have nothing but good things to say about it. Now it's just trying to get more people to know about it.
Absolutely. When you were talking about the spinner,
The messages from Scott over there.
So what is this, Scott?
It's that's how everybody's hands are on his stuff.
when you talk about the spinner, Ben, are you talking about the thicker handle one or the smaller handle one?
The wrist spinner is what I've been calling because it didn't really have a name. I think, to my knowledge, Toddzilla invented it. It's essentially just a smaller diameter multi-spinner that doesn't have the wrist wrap. You use your hand, and you see Toddzilla uses that thing all the time.
Is that the one that we used, John?
Correct. Yes.
The one with like this.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yes.
Now,
and so it's similar to a cone handle. It gets a similar kind of. And it's also the single-sided strap, so you get the multiple vectors on it. It's really good for hooking in the top.
I actually really like, so when me and Ed were using it last night for supination purposes, because if you bottom wrap it, you can really focus specifically on your supination with it. But I actually really like it. Steve has a video that he made, and it's the most recent video of me and him using it, and we're using it for our high post top roll and through our stabilization through the thumb, and it basically forces you to hold it cocked back, and if you dump your wrist, it's a loss, and if you dump your wrist, you see the rope start to move. So you kind of slowly extend your wrist, and I'm telling you, boy, it was like 25 pounds humbling me that I could barely do it.
And not just that, but you will really feel the difference when you're doing from that angle. You really feel it specifically through the first finger.
Yeah, your index finger.
Yes, the index, you'll feel it right down through your forearm and your palm. It activates a totally different set of muscles.
I want to get one of your wrist wrenches, and I want to make a video about it because I have a wrist wrench, but I definitely want, I think yours is a little bit thicker in the handle.
Yes, it is a half an inch thicker than the wrist spinner that you do have.
Yeah, and I really like that. So I want to try to get my hands on one of those. I'm personally, and it's not yours, it's just in general, I've never been a personal fan of the big fat multi-spinners unless you're somebody that's got fucking huge hands like you and Steven and some of these other guys. So
no, I understand that. There's certain guys where like I could see, and again, example like a Joseph Moranto or someone with a smaller hand, even as strong as they are, like they're not even going to get like halfway around a big ass multi spinner.
Right. Arm Wrestling Showcase. Dino says Arm Combat. You should make an eccentric handle. How do you feel about that?
The wrist wrench is the closest I've got to something like that at the moment. But I'm working on it. I'm limited in my manufacturing capacities, but I have certain things in the work that I am working on.
Oh, very cool.
You're gonna have to 3D print that one, I think.
Exactly.
That's very specific.
Certain things. But also, I don't know how many people will be interested, like you were saying, because of the larger diameter. But I was experimenting with a extra large, called the XL wrist wrench, which is the same diameter as a 3-inch multi spinner, but on a wrist wrench. So
okay, that's what I'd want.
Yeah, that'll really get in your fingers. I'll tell you that right now. I can bring one of those to practice next time I see it.
Please, I would love to
bring it with you on the 3rd.
Yeah, I would love to test that out because I'm looking for something that gives me the same dimension as a wrist wrench, but something that I'm not necessarily holding on to, because the one I have it's like made of like a plexiglass almost, so it slips out of my hand easily if I sweat, and it's also inside my hand, too unrealistic. I need something a little bit bigger, so. So that's awesome. Matza Brothers Arm Wrestling. I'm guessing that's Jesus himself. Cody, how do you think you'll do against me? Ooh, let's stir the pot. I'm interested. I want to know. I want to know too. They're so close. They live so close together.
If that's Jesus, since he's here, what about also the Carlson?
Not sure. Be told we'd be a good match.
Did he respond to the $100 Carlson call out?
Yeah, Jesus, go ahead and confirm that you'll be here the 3rd to arm wrestle John Carlson right-handed. It sounds like $100. That's between you two. All I care about is you're here. And then I got 14, 15 people on right now. If there are one of you that are not subs to my channel right now, go and sub
How
right
dare
now.
you?
I'm 249. I need one more to hit 250, baby. Let's go.
Let's get it for him, baby.
So is the Carlson Jesus match going to go first and then it's going to be me, or?
I don't give a shit. That's up between you guys. Also, we can go over that. I'm not too worried about that.
I think if it's for money, you should probably do that one first.
Absolutely.
Or if he really wants to win against me, we'll do that first. It's up to him. I don't really care.
Yeah, we'll leave that up to the hands of John Carlson.
Man, we got some super matches going on in the 3rd, huh?
We got a lot. We got like almost 10.
I'm good with either.
This is going to be at your place, correct, John?
Correct. And I will be the ref. And Scott, if you're there, you will be my down ref, sir.
I'll be there, dude. I told you I would.
Sweet. I want to make this announcement while I have quite a bit of wear them out for me, Edo. As you said.
Let's do our match first.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be like, if one of us, let's say I win, be like, oh yeah, because I was tired.
Yeah. So you're saying you want to do your guys' match first?
Yeah, let's do it. Opening match.
Okay.
Fuck
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then if you guys want to end with Jesus and John at the very end to give you that much time, John, I'm with it. I want to make this announcement for all you left-handers. It looks like I got Cam on here. It looks like I got John on here. I'm sure Octavian will see this. A lot of you guys have reached out to me about a left-handed rankings. And I even was so annoyed that I thought about going as far as making a left-handed tournament, a left-handed only tournament. But I decided that would be too much work for me to do myself. And I'd rather have it to where if you guys don't come out to the Battle of the Brave and compete on your left arm, you will not be ranked in the month of March. So in mid-March, I'll have your left-handed rankings come out. But in order to gauge and to know where everybody's at, that's where I'm going to get all my data from. Because it's not the same as the right, where I get to feel everybody's right and everyone's focused on their right, and there's all this movement on the right. It's very easy. It's very obvious for me being someone as involved as I am. On the left, I know who's really good, but that's about it. So this is going to help me. So if you care about being ranked left-handed, once again, I use that word, or I use that phrase very carefully. If you care, because there's not a lot that do, then go to and compete at the left-handed Battle of the Brave, okay? I will not be at the Battle of the Brave. I will be in Tennessee. Okay, well, in instances like this, same thing with Edo. Edo's going to be at the Super 64 in Colorado, so he let me know he would not be able to compete at this. If you DM me and you let me know, hey, I've got other arm wrestling constituents that I can't be a part of, or because I'm already doing something else arm wrestling, well then, yeah, I'm not going to kick you off the rankings. John Carlson, I'm pretty sure I know where you lie left-handed in the 198s behind Ron. I guess we'll find out this weekend a little bit more, right?
Would it probably be like Ron number 1, of course, and then either me or John second? That sounds
guess. For that 198, I would guess that would be the case.
Okay, so let's make the winner number 2 then.
Yeah. Mata Brothers Arm Wrestling. Jesus, Cody, not that I'm denying it, but who said you would be a good match? Curious. Yeah, I'm interested to know too. Cody, for your overall strength coming into arm wrestling, you're a strong dude. You are a strong dude. But the problem with a crew like yours is you don't have a veteran there to kind of help you with fixing bad habits. So in order for you to notice them, you have to come to a practice down here, which you were doing quite often. And we saw you some, and I get when you do have a training partner there, you're less apt to do traveling to us, and I get that. But Jesus Mata, there's very little people who one, train as hard as the Matas, 2, compete as much as the Matas, and 3, are as obsessed with arm wrestling as the Matas. So, yes, you are definitely an underdog in that match, my good friend, as strong as you are. Now,
He's one of those. I'm sorry, not to interrupt, but he was one of those guys that doesn't come around often enough, so it's hard to get a judge on it. But I mean, he's definitely strong. That's going to be an interesting match for sure. I think.
another corn-fed white boy. Same thing with that Steven dude. I mean, potential is crazy out there because of I think they're manual labor workers. So I mean, yeah, man, it makes sense why they're cock strong. Did you guys see that both Dustin Allen and John Carlson made the Great American Invitational Bash by Beast Mode Arm Wrestling in December?
I knew Carlson. I did not know about Allen.
Dustin Allen, are you ready for this one? This is the curveball that I'm going to throw you. Dustin Allen's going to be the 242 class.
Wow.
That doesn't even make sense.
Doesn't even make sense.
When you started talking, it didn't make sense, and now I'm even more confused.
He's a thick dude.
He's 300 plus
Doesn't
pounds.
he? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. Now,
Conspiracy theories has been
Taking that
confirmed.
Ozempic.
I was going to say, I'll be very honest. John Carlson in the chat. I was very surprised when I saw that John Carlson got a call to be a part of something right-handed. Left-handed, I totally get it, but right-handed, I was like, I don't.
No, his thing is left-handed. The
No, it's
invitational thing-
not. No, it's not.
It says left, does it not?
He made both.
not both.
Is this like
He
a
made
team
both.
thing?
No,
No, it's
no.
a top 64. So it's a 64-man.
Oh, okay.
You're going to have 32 on the top on one side and 32
So
on the bottom on
That's
the other
the same
side.
as the Great American Bash.
That is a Great American Bash, yes.
Okay. I thought that was two different things.
Yes,
Same
and
thing.
John Carlson did just say, and it is true, Eric Wolf as well, I believe, is in the 221.
Okay.
So Arizona does officially have a representing team going to the Great American Invitational this year.
Is there a 220?
My question is just are those the representatives? You know what I mean? I personally don't see Dustin Allen in
242.
dropping 60 plus pounds.
Yeah.
If he does, I will literally shave my fucking head. If he makes that way, I will shave my fucking head.
Y'all heard it here.
Person. He's one of those barrel-chested guys. Like, it's just in his frame. He can't, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, there you go. I used to pull with LeRae and Robbie in Tennessee. We'll probably be pulling with them in March. There you go. There's your hookup. That's how my man got in. It's all good. Left-handed, John, I think you fucking kill it. Right-handed, I think I hope you know who you're going up against. Fucking Adam Warzinski, Robbie Russell, some of these guys.
Yeah. Well, if he can't beat Jesus Mata, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
If you don't beat Jesus Mata, I don't know. Maybe Warzinski will be easier. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we'll queue up the Randy Savage cream of the crop meme.
Warzinski after he just took out Shark for the first time.
Yeah, that was an insane match, dude.
Man.
But obviously, we're all high on Eric Wolf. I think he'll do great in the 220. Very interested to see.
I've already beat Jesus. Well, there you go.
Yeah, he did beat Jesus at the state fair that year, I believe. So, but that was once again, that was 2 years ago, and Jesus has been working that right arm very consistently for the last 2 years. Shout out to Ben Freeman. Have an early model riser and pronation strap that I would never trade for anything. That's the era.
I see a few of those floating around. I know Luis has got a few of those really old ones.
Yeah. See, we love your stuff, man, and that's why we want to have you.
No, and it sticks around, man. Like, I haven't seen any of my stuff break or snap, or I've never had that come back yet.
Yeah.
Got old straps floating around that are still good.
Okay, a couple more interesting potentials that are coming up and that might come about. I would like to hear your guys' forethoughts. You don't have to go into depth. I would just like you to choose a winner, Miguel versus Carl.
Carl.
Which hand?
Right hand.
Miguel.
Is that a question, or are you saying Miguel?
Yeah, Ben.
Carl Gerke or whatever.
Correct.
Correct. Oh.
I'm going Miguel.
That's a match.
It's a match.
That is a fucking match, if you ask
It's a
me.
match.
Once
Man, I
again-
kind of want to switch it up.
Once again, styles make matches, man.
Because the only time I personally have seen Carl Gerke pull live anyone seriously was the finals at Battle of Brave with Ron. And last time I checked, Miguel still gets Ron. But again, that's just also practice. So it's tricky, but that's going to be a hell of a match. I think I'll just go with the local boy just because.
Did I just hear that Miguel gets Ron normally?
He does. He does. He does. Not fresh for fresh, but it doesn't take long for Ron to start to tire out, and then Miguel does.
Again, like, this is the last time I've seen a practice video from the West Side guys. You know,
sure,
YouTube and stuff. But I swear,
I know the video you're talking about too. I believe it is on Jake Ventura's channel.
I think it is, and there, like the front yard is, or not front yard, but it's like in the driveway, and
it's not
Ron's even going on for like 2 minutes about how, man, you always get me. And
if it's not Jake's, it's a little Juan. It's Juan Alvarez's channel. It's one of the two.
That's probably it.
Yeah, you guys coming to Eric's on the 12th for me and Tim Lewis. It's a Monday after Super Bowl. Tim Talmadge is refereeing.
Oh,
really?
Well, I don't see why not.
The 12th of
February.
12th of February.
That same weekend is the weekend that if the Miguel and Carl doesn't go down at the East versus West qualifier, then that's the one that's supposed to happen that same day.
I just want to confirm that's a Monday.
The 12th?
Man,
I'm
sorry, guys. I got to switch up my pick on this one and go Miguel.
Yeah, that is definitely a Monday. I don't get that either, Ben.
Yeah.
So maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, just confirm that date. But I mean, as long as it's not when I'm in Utah, I'll probably be there.
Because February 12th is a Monday, John Carlson. Okay.
It might be a typo.
February 12th is a Monday, which he said it's a Monday after Super Bowl.
Oh, he did say that. I also can't read, so
yeah,
I'm stupid.
Okay.
That should always be my default. I question myself first before I question anyone else.
It's his only day in Arizona. All right, well, is what it is.
What time? I'm assuming it's going to have to be in the evening.
Okay, here's another one that I want to talk about. Now, it sounds like there could be a hiatus on when we get this to happen. Still something that I really, really want to come to fruition and happen. And I put my hand in. I told Dustin I would referee it for free. I'd help him do it.
I know what you're going to say, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I am high on this 165-man round robin. I think that it would be such a sick idea. You've got people like Aaron Blevins. You've got people like, obviously, Joseph Moranto, who, if he wanted to, he could just wake up that morning and he wouldn't have to cut any weight whatsoever. He'd probably still be below and probably still be the favorite. Who else you got? You got Kirby. You've got Donald Mata.
Dustin Poston.
You got Dustin Poston. You got D'Anthony Miller, who a lot of you guys have not felt yet. I definitely put him top 3. I personally think he could. I think he could be the wild horse, the dark horse in that. But
where's Josiah?
Josiah is too light. He walks around under 155 pounds naturally.
Oh, wow.
And he's also not training. So I wouldn't put my money on that. But who else would you say around that weight? Victor from Tucson.
I was about to say
Celso, perfect.
Celso's like 180 now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he is. I just want to bring this up before we miss it on the feed. Mata Bros Arm Wrestling said John versus Jesus has never happened. He said Harland, but I think he meant never happened.
Are we talking about Carlson? I'm trying to think.
You guys did it happen 2 years ago at Arizona State, or not Arizona State, but the State Fair.
The State Fair. I'm trying to think because I went undefeated in that tournament, and I remember arm wrestling John Carlson, Rad Rob, and Jesus Mata. And I remember having to arm wrestle Rad Rob, I believe, twice.
Okay.
And I can't remember, but I want to say John Carlson was my finals match. Jesus was my first out. He was the first match I had, and he lost, which means he would only had one more, so he would have lost to me and then John Carlson.
John says, I have a video. So I'm sure he'll share it on the feed.
Yeah, post that in the So Strong chat so we can see that, playa.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyways, that's like 10 people, and I'll tell you what, Joseph's really good. He is, but his strength is not endurance. You know what I mean? And I really feel like after so many matches, people like Aaron Blevins, people like Kirby, people like DeAnthony get him in a bad spot. Who knows? Who knows what happens? I can tell you who I think is a favorite, but I literally cannot tell you who I have in second place and then going forward. And I also feel like, along with the 198s, it's probably the most competitive weight class
In Arizona.
in Arizona.
Yeah.
I can't think of a more competitive weight class other than maybe, and I'm not going to say competitive. I'm going to say there's a lot of people, but like 242s.
I mean, 220s is pretty stacked, bro, if you think about it.
Yeah, but let's take a look at who's active in that list. Is there a lot of people that are active, or is it just a
Ed,
lot
you're
of
really
people
under
that are
200 now?
Pardon?
You're 198 now?
No, I'm like 210.
Okay, but you're headed for 198.
No, I'm just going to stay around 205 and 210 and just cut down to around 200 and make weight for 198.
But that's what. But you're headed for that class, though. Like you that's what you plan on being in the future.
I mean, I'll give it a whirl.
Right on.
I mean, maybe I won't do so well. I don't know.
No, I'm just saying
Yeah,
we should still count you in the 220 class.
No, I have him in the 198 class because that's where he's going to be competing at. But
we gotta update. Mata said, I remember now it was on the left arm, not the right arm.
that's not true because the state fair was only right hand.
Yeah, I was going to say they don't do left hand at that tournament.
Yeah. Okay.
But
bring the video.
this also kind of goes into like what we were talking about before with not being ranked in two classes. Now that I'm looking at the 220 to 199 class, there's probably a lot of those guys that would tell me right now they could cut to make 198.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so until I see you actively competing in these weight classes, then I don't know. And honestly, in all honesty, Battle of the Brave is not the greatest example because the weight classes are very dispersed. They're not Ayers weight classes. They're kind of
I noticed that they're doing 230 plus, aren't they, for the super heavies?
231 plus is the heavies.
And then we got a 209 also for Edo and I.
Now, is that because that's how it's set up for East versus West? Like, is that the weight classes they use over there? Because that's not how it was last year's all. So
I don't know if that's done by KG, and that's why I have no idea.
Edo, are you pretty confident in your body? I mean, you're someone. John and I were talking about this on the phone a couple of days ago. You're someone that seems to have it pretty dialed in when it comes to knowing your nutrition, how to lose the weight, how much time you need before having to drop that weight. I'm now transitioned down to that 198, and I've gotten under it pretty easily. But then now that I'm kind of eating what I want and, working out, as long as I work out, I pretty much eat what I want, sitting around that 204, 205 range. And I had the thought of just dropping the weight now and sitting at 200. John would agree with you, walking around at 205, 206, 207, and then just cutting the weight a week before a 198 or 2 weeks before.
Well, you also got to think about if you're in a caloric deficit or close to it, how's your recovery going to be? How's your recovery going to be? Are you going to be adding strength? So it's best to maybe do plus 10 pounds and then cut down. Build up the strength and then cut down. I mean, that's kind of uniform strategy across powerlifting, Olympic lifting. That's how they all do it.
Cool.
Yeah, and also, Steve, I don't know if you're aware that Edo will not be competing at Battle of the Brave.
I am. I'm aware of that.
Okay.
I just wanted to pick his brain on that because I know that him and I kind of have the same venture moving forward.
You had said for us in the 209 weight class, you had said for me and Edo.
Oh, yeah, my bad. You're right. My bad.
But I will be.
Yeah, you will be. Me and John will.
Yeah, that'll be a fun weight class. I think that'll be one of the bigger ones for that tournament.
For sure.
That surprises me that Ed's 198, but John's 220.
Well, I'm not 220.
No.
Well, it's what you choose to compete in.
Yes, it's what I choose to compete in. I naturally wake up at about 213 pounds, and that's when I'm not a fat fuck when I'm working out 4 or 5 days a week and my metabolism is where it's supposed to be. Now, I've gotten up to about 227, but I can tell you cardio was not a thing. It was not a word in my vocabulary. I was eating probably 2 to 3 more meals a day than I'm eating currently right now. And the reason being is because I have some stomach issues that I'm dealing with. But realistically, I was talking to Ed about this. I don't really have any interest in caring about my weight currently. I really do feel like the care kind of goes like this. And I think it's a big problem with arm wrestling. I can tell you right now, when you look at me now versus me when I very first came into the sport, I don't even look like the same dude. I look like a completely different human being.
You ate the old John Bellick.
Yeah. And I don't even mean that from a size perspective, because realistically, I'm only about 15 pounds heavier than I really was before. But what I mean is, like, the care is so much more, the stress is so much more when you have to add on the weight thing. I already do so much when it comes to arm wrestling, training, streams, all this. Do you really think I want to stop caring about the food that I eat and like all this? To me, I am benefiting and finding out that I compete so much better walking into that tournament 100% completely comfortable. It doesn't matter if I'm in the middle of the weight class. It doesn't mean if I'm 5 pounds under, whatever, because you're always going to have these guys. I was talking to Eric about it. You're always going to have these guys that either beat the system, that are fucking loaded to the gills, and they just cut weight really easily, or they took some diuretic and they're super like invested and they were 30 pounds, like Lewis. When I went to Washington State with Lewis, my man cut like 30 pounds in like 10 days. I'm never going to be that guy, but I know that there's always in all weight classes probably going to be those guys. So I don't want to compete with those guys in the eating and losing weight category. I just want to compete with you on the table. And so I need to know that I'm strong at X weight.
Right.
About all of us fluctuate 10 pounds here or there, up and down. So as long as I'm not going above or beyond those things, then I really won't worry about it. 213 to 223 right now, pretty comfortable for me. I go about above 223 and I start breathing weird and sleeping stupid. If I go below 213, I look like an emaciated like Filipino kid, you know what I mean? So it's like I got to pick and choose my battles, you know what I mean? I wake up, I eat what I want, I drink a ton of water, and I'm totally happy with it. And the reason why I'm going on this rant is because I think a lot of you guys, not you guys specifically, but people listening, should adopt these things. Stop caring in your first 5 years and you're an amateur about whether or not you're going to be 250 pounds or not. It's not important. You know what's important?
Yeah.
That thing right there. That guy right there. You see him? I know. I was going to say, I'm sorry, Scott. Let me get a little closer, baby. But it's so true. Arm wrestling gives you a form of body dysmorphia. It really does. Look at Levon. Look at Hermes. Look at some of these guys that don't even look like the same person 3 years ago. I'm a great example. I thought I needed to put on all this weight. I thought I needed to be big bad Johnny. And it's just not the case.
What are you talking about? You are Big Bad Johnny, bro.
You're damn right. But I mean, I'll look at Edo. I mean, Edo's a great example. Ed went up to 242 plus at some point, or maybe not 242 plus, but about the 240 weight class, right around there, and decided, you know what? I'm not anatomically built to arm wrestle these people. You know what I mean?
The most I ever weighed was before Arizona State. I was at 230 because I didn't want to. I was trying to decide between 220 and 242, and so I made the correct guess that everybody that was good was going to compete in 220. They were going to shed some weight and compete in 220. So all those fucking guys were in 220s, and I loaded up on McDonald's and got up to 240, and then went to 242s. So you kind of never know. I mean, you could cut weight, you can trash your body to lose 30 pounds. You go 0-2 and be like, what the hell did I just do? What's the point?
Exactly. And that's why I just have learned to put my stress and my time and my focus into things that I know I I know aren't going to affect me like that. And I've had too many instances where I just feel like absolute dog shit. And that plays so much heavier on your mind. Arm wrestling's so mental. If you don't feel good, you're not going to compete good. That's just what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Plus, as a strength sport, in my opinion, it's one of those things where certain guys just are lean people naturally.
Right.
And if you're going to, go ahead and lean into that, that's fine. But like, I don't think it's necessarily healthy or proper for a guy to be cutting down like a fighter would be, for an example,
Right.
because it's a strength-based thing. Like, you shouldn't see arm wrestlers out there jogging and trying to like get their weight down that way. Like, if you're close to a class and you can cut some pounds, great, but you shouldn't be trying to make like giant shifts or change your whole body look unless you got like a lot of excess weight you're trying to lose.
Because that goes straight into the whole rankings talk. Like, why do you think that you should deserve to be ranked in a weight class that's 25 to almost 30 pounds lower than what you are naturally?
Yeah.
I get that you compete in that, but at the same time, it's not your weight. Now, I'm not gonna argue with that. If you make the weight, you make the weight, and you compete at that, then I'll put you on the piece of paper. But to me, it's just kind of like the whole getting ranked in multiple weight classes and all that. It gets sticky, but yeah.
Well, I seen a big poll about that on Facebook the other day for California specifically, because they were having a conversation about how to rank Vresh, because he's a guy that always pulls above his weight class because he's just a monster.
Right.
And so it's like, how do we? And so there was a big vote, and it seemed like the majority of people agreed to rank him in his weight class, where he pulls, what his real weight is, and then if you want to have like an overall ranking, you can stick him in. But you can't have like 20 different.
I'm pretty sure Joseph would be ranked number 1 in like 4 weight classes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. And you can't go into that kind of. It's just, it gets too sloppy.
Yeah.
I would say, rank them, like you said, at their walking weight. Wake up, boom, it's what you are. Don't, drastically lose your damn weight so you can be at this fucking ranking, and you're not going to be at that ranking in a week.
Weight class you actually weigh in for.
And this is the reason why I did that, because for these super matches, I don't expect you to cut weight or a ton of weight for these things. If I'm going to give you a 2-week limit to talk to each other, then just arm wrestle where you lie. Don't make this, oh my God, you got to give me 3 weeks because I got to cut 40 pounds. It's like, well, no, this is besides the point. This is not the reason why I'm doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what do we got? You got any call outs? Anybody want to call?
You said looking forward to the match. Gotta go. Good to see you, man. Awesome. John Carlson, we appreciate all you do, big dog. John Bellick, I'm sure that was for you, brother.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't see any other call outs.
So we definitely had a few.
Yeah, man, we got a lot. We got a lot tonight. I mean, this February 3rd is going to be gnarly.
What are the weight classes for the East versus West?
They're funky.
Let's
209, 230, and then 231 plus for the bigger guys, the ones that you would care about.
Whoa! Don't be racist.
I said bigger guys.
Hold on, I'm trying to look for.
Yeah, it also seems like there's no weight ranges. Like, they're just individual numbers. It's just 165, 187, 209, 230, and 230 plus.
Yeah, so it'd be 209 to 230 in there, and then the other ones would be to that point.
208.
That's where it gets tricky. I think that if you're over 209, you're just instantly going to be in 230, even if you're only like 208, 210, or 211.
Well, but that's the question: is there a weight allowance with the clothing? Because if there's a 3-pound weight allowance, I basically have to wake up and cut 2 pounds. Because if I wake up at 213 and I can make 211, then I'm in the 209 or the 208 weight class, which I will very well do.
Yeah, I'm waking up and eating a huge breakfast for that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you going to be at, Steve?
I walk around at 203 when I wake up in the morning, 202, 203 in the morning. So I could probably be 209 or 208 the day of if I eat a huge breakfast. I think I sent John a picture of my weight after I had my sister's birthday dinner, and she had a buffet at her house of Firebird Steakhouse, and I went off. And I got home and I was 209.
Also, at least on the poster I think I'm looking at, I think they missed a weight class because there's a big jump from 187 to 209. There doesn't seem to be a 190 class.
Yeah, I think there's the 188 to 208, and then it goes 209 to 230. That's why it makes sense but it doesn't make sense at the same
Yeah,
time.
I think there's maybe a typo in there. It doesn't look right.
You know who's the one to ask? Greg Brown.
The guy who made the flyer.
Pretty sure he made the flyer.
Him and Dustin. I asked Dustin directly, by the way, guys. I said, there's a 209 class? And he said, yes, there is. I said, fantastic. Can't wait.
Yeah.
John, are there any other people interested in having a match on the 27th? Because if me and Steve are going to do it, maybe if anybody else.
Well, No, because what had happened was there was a lot of people who weren't sure they were going to make the third, and so it was kind of like this, which weekend should I do it? Realistically, there are no matches right now set that are not happening on the third. That's what I was trying to find out.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure all the matches that were call-outs that we wanted or we were looking at potentially, other than Greg Brown and the Mikhail one, and that's just dependent on whether Greg Brown comes back in town in time.
Nice. Congratulations to him on the weekend, the wedding weekend.
Yes. Yes, because I'm going to go over these one more time just so that we're all familiar in case I don't miss any. Edo versus John be first. Ben and Stephen Milne, right-handed. Jesus and John Carlson, right-handed. Dino and Stephen Milne, left-handed. Octavian and Cam, left-handed. Juggernaut and Marcus, left-handed. Lots of left-handed matches, huh?
Wow.
Hey, that's why they want the rankings.
I was going to say, I think I'm just shut my mouth, huh? And then Dustin versus Josiah.
Nice.
So that's
a long
1, 2, 3,
long
4,
one.
5, 6, 7 matches.
I'm about to say, I don't know if he actually spoke up about it, but Marcus is another guy I could see that would want left-handed rankings. He's way better left than right. It's not even comparable.
Not even close.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, other than that, Juanito, Little Juan, and Dustin were going to go at it, but they ended up being in different weight classes. It's another one of those conversations. Juanito would have had to drop like 30 pounds. I told him, I was like, don't even worry about it. Just give up your ranking. I'll rank you in one weight class higher. He goes, cool. So that's done in data. Clayton and Steve, when are we going to see that happen?
Let's see. I mean, I guess it depends on what happens with. I mean, I know it's a fun ready go with me and Edo on the 27th. As long as I come out of that healthy, then by the 10th, I mean that's 2 weeks. I don't see a problem. I could probably do the 10th.
Okay, so you don't want to do the third though.
Well, no. I got to drop the weight. For me, I don't want to rush it in a day, but or have a week later after I pull Edo. What are we doing, Edo? I know we're doing ready goes for fun. Are we gonna do like 3, 5? What do you want to do?
For
Let's
fun.
figure that out first. Right?
This guy thinks we're gonna have fun.
Said maybe Ed's going to have fun.
Best out of 5. Best out of 5.
Okay, so if I'm,
It's a serious match, but the intention is getting experience.
Right. So if I'm gonna take it as a serious match, ready goes during the practice. I'm gonna do best of 5. I'm not gonna come back a week later and go against Clayton for the belt in my number 2. I'd probably want a little bit more time. So I'd actually even say take the 10th off, considering that. And, let me talk to you after I pull Edo best of 5 and see if I can put the 10th back on.
There you go. So
what would be a good match for Donald?
So Clayton and Steve, nobody wants to talk about Donald Mata, who arm wrestles every 2 weeks, okay? No, I'm teasing.
He is on like every card, though. He really is.
He's literally arm wrestles more than any 3 of us combined.
That guy needs to go to another state.
Yeah.
Aren't Donald and Celso around the same weight now? They're both about 180, both about 6 foot, 6'1".
I don't know. That might be a big gap, though.
Celso's gonna whoop that ass.
Yeah, that's.
I'm pretty sure Donald knows that. Let's take a look at where Donald's ranked real quick. We'll go over this real quick. It's always the same with you guys. Throwing this guy in the fire, throwing Donald in the fire.
He threw himself out there.
No, I think this is Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Donald's number 4 at 187 to 177. Technically, Alex McManus is ranked he said he's 190 pounds, said he can make the 187. That guy's above you, Johnny's above you, Aaron Schermeyer's above you. You can't beat any of them.
Nope.
So you already beat the guy who's directly underneath you, Luis Castaneda. And then why are you going to call anybody that's lower than that rank? Okay, Donald typed it. I'm just teasing with you guys. I fucking love you guys. No, I'm totally fucking with you guys. But nonetheless, what I'm saying is there's literally nobody in your weight class for you to arm wrestle that makes any sense. You know who I want to see you go against? And I'm going to say it right now on the live. Here first, Michael Brugger, get your ass up.
Yes.
Get your ass up, Michael Brugger. 176 to 166. He's the only person in that weight class. Technically, that's a weight class below yours. I still have him as the favorite. I still think he beats you, Donald.
I think it's closer, but I think Mike still wins.
Yeah. Now the thing is, if we're like, what do we have to do? Do we have to put like a car on the line or something for Michael Brugger to show up? Like he will show up in every practice and he'll pull for 7 hours.
He'll be happy. He'll take it.
Yeah. He'll pull for 7 hours at all of our practices, but you mentioned the word match, and he's like, "Oh, but my back."
I was about to say, I know he's getting healthier, but is he actually like super match ready?
Whatever.
I mean, what's the difference? I mean, he goes balls to the wall during practice anyway.
What I'm trying to say,
I don't know.
Just have a match. It doesn't have to be a big deal.
That's exactly what it is. So, yes. So, Donald, you asked me. I would love to see you up against Michael Brugger. Other than that, I don't necessarily know, if I'm just being honest with you. But other matches were the Carl versus the Miguel one, Tito versus the Juggernaut, which I was trying to make happen, which really doesn't have any rhyme or reason to it. Neither of them guys called each other out. I completely instigated that match.
Oh, that's how that came about.
Yeah. But Tito has made it very clear that he's just not training the way he'd like to right now to take a super match, which I totally understand. So I'm going to let that one go by the wayside. And then you have John Carlson versus Jesus Mata. So, and that one is now taking place on the 3rd. So, yeah, realistically, there are like no matches that I have going forward, really, that aren't taking place on February 3rd. I guess Clayton and Steve is a potential. And then who did we just say? We said Jesus versus.
No, it's not. Not for the 3rd. It's not.
No. I'm just saying like that. I'm saying matches that are not taking place on the 3rd.
Gotcha.
That might take place later on.
I think I'll try and stir the pot a little bit myself, just because Tito's last match was with Ed.
Correct.
If Reagan's that close, what about Reagan? I guess Ed's coming down in weight then, but still, I'd like to see how that goes.
What, Ed and Reagan?
Reagan?
No. We found out very, very quickly what level. Well, also Reagan's like 240 right now.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's a big boy, dude.
He's gaining weight then, because he used to be like 220.
He did. Yeah, he has been gaining weight, and he made it.
I have not personally seen him in a while. I don't get out to the far east area of practice.
Yeah, he came out to our last practice. He was big, and he also made it very clear that he has absolutely no intentions at his age of cutting weight. So he is now
whatever Reagan's weighing, I'm kind of way under.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't want anything to do with that guy.
Me too. Yeah.
How much did you weigh?
I think he's like 240.
240.
What am I say?
And how old is he?
I don't know. I think he's a little bit older than me. I think he's somewhere between 35 and 40, somewhere around there. Clayton Merrick, Michael Brugger is too much for him.
Say that again, John. I didn't hear that.
Clayton Merrick just said that Michael Brugger is still too much for Donald.
I would have to agree.
Yeah, and so this once again, it goes back to the whole thing of what I was talking about at the very beginning. Donald, you don't need to take matches, brother. You need to strength gain. You need for the next 6 months to lift, and lift some more.
Instagram, that's all he does. Every day he's lifting.
He does, but he arm wrestles plenty as far as practicing and his ready go practices and stuff like that. He just needs to keep doing what he's doing, but he doesn't need to be chomping at the bit as far as the rankings goes. Have some patience, just enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey. You know what I mean? Once again, you want to take a match with somebody. I can't stop you. You can do whatever you want. But as far as ones that like I personally want to see or ones that I'm going to be invested in trying to throw for you, yeah, I don't really see a whole lot of people that make a ton of sense for you right now. You've taken a lot of them out of out of the picture, bro.
I would say try and hit some of these kind of close but not so close tournaments like the Summerton or the Mexico.
Exactly. Yeah, I would too. East versus West qualifiers typically have no weight allowance. Lewis, shut the fuck up, okay? Talk to me like that, bro.
There's usually always a weight allowance,
There's always a weight allowance when Dustin Allen is the guy
especially
who's
if you're
saying-
buddies with the
I was about to say,
promoter.
tell that to Leonard and Lawrence.
Yeah, but nobody's friends with Leonard.
Yeah, Leonard doesn't have any friends.
Leonard's mom doesn't even love him.
Oh my God.
I'm teasing. Shout out to Leonard Harkless, master referee,
Master referee.
a man.
I'm
But
friends
yeah.
with him on Facebook. He has at least one friend.
No, yeah. So I think that's all I got. I mean, if we ain't got any more call outs, it sounds like it looks like the chat's kind of died out a bit. Anything else anybody wanted to go over before we kind of ease it out?
Are me and Steve gonna talk crap to each other?
I didn't like how you I don't like how you made so much fun of my wrist when you were working out, Edo.
That is true. He was throwing shots last night.
How dare you?
That's just what he does. He emasculates my biceps all the time. It'll be arm wrestling, just like poke it and be like, "What's
This
that?"
is Steve's wrist.
Now, okay, let me ask you, Steve. For
Yeah.
our match, what are you approaching it differently than the monster match? What are you doing differently?
I don't think I have to do much different because I don't think that you're going to put yourself in that position of let me drop my whole.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'll just tell you that right now.
Things move and just hold on regardless of where I'm at on the table. No, I honestly with you, I feel like I'm the underdog and I just have to. I got to figure out the setup as best as possible. You know, and who knows? Maybe Steve has to go to the strap for once. I don't know.
Hey, maybe we can agree to a strap for a round if we never get there.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, the whole point is to get some experience.
It's all about getting better, and it's about training each other and working together. Yeah. Absolutely, dude. Yeah.
I think when people put such a big deal on these matches, they don't get the experience that they need. And it makes it really gay. Like you kind of ruin the thing. It's like just have a match. It's like you're not anyone significant anyway.
Right.
I'm dropping to 198.
No, I think more matches should happen like that more often. Like even me and my Marcus match. He wasn't even in my weight class, but like we were close enough.
Bro, you don't have to be 5 pounds, 1 pound off each other. Like just do it.
Yeah. Like Scott at 198 pounds is just two arms. Like
he's like freaking buff SpongeBob.
Yeah, just
Hey, that was the weight class that I started in. That's and then I just went away from there.
And then
where did Ernie start, Scott? Where did Ernie start?
What century was that?
Yeah, exactly.
One at a time. I couldn't hear you. What is it?
I said, where did Ernie start? What was his weight?
I don't know.
Wasn't he like 176 or something?
Yeah, 80
170.
something.
Yeah.
He was tiny. He got huge.
Then he discovered pasta.
Yeah.
Pasta.
So you go back to him and see him in his wall match from I think it was 2017 or 18. He was definitely like half the size.
Crazy. Guys, I'm gonna have to head out. I have a phone
Amazing
call
what good supplements can do.
God bless you guys. Throw them up.
Thank you. Armcombat.com.
Armcombat.com. See you guys soon.
I personally think it looks like we lost Ed too. I personally think that as much as everybody else thinks Ed's so much the favorite in that match, I think it is going to be a lot closer than people think.
Which one?
The Ed versus Steve.
You think so?
I've gotten the chance to feel them both pretty recently.
I'll say, has Ed lost anything coming down on his weight?
Yeah.
I was going to say that too. Yeah, it significantly.
Honestly, I won't say that you lose ability to arm wrestle. And I still think that's Ed's key to winning the match.
Yeah.
But I think the strength gap is not anywhere near what it was before. So I think Ed could very much out arm wrestle Steve. And I think I still have Ed winning based on those things. but yeah, it could definitely be interesting. So
Well, yeah, I think Ed's fast. Steve is creeping up with his speed, but I think Ed's fast on that one.
Ed's also got really good timing. So I don't even know if it's speed or he's just really good at playing a fine line of false starting. You know what I mean?
It's true. Yeah.
That's all.
Definitely call that speed. So
Yeah.
Well,
that's what Fisher does. He's right on that line every single time.
yes. Sounds like I got to call my friend Luis Barrera here because it looks like he's getting called out by Ron Flanick.
I was gonna say, and that I haven't seen Ron in forever. He's been missing, but I think that'd be very interesting.
I do too.
How long has Ron been pulling?
I know Ron's first tournament was Arizona State. Or no, it was Battle of the Brave. We met him at Battle of the Brave last year.
And how much does he weigh?
He's a 210, 215 guy.
Okay.
Big, thick hand. It's a short hand, but it's real thick.
Yeah.
Strong arms, strong bicep. Same thing, willing to put it all on the line. But I don't know how much training he does as far as technical training and who he would train with as far as the team goes. He's one of the up north guys, so he's not in the valley. I believe. I could be wrong, but yeah, you don't see him too often at the practices. And once again, I train very heavily with Lewis, and I'm teaching him a lot of technicality stuff in how to be a really strong dude and use that as an arm wrestler, because you see a lot of these guys that come into arm wrestling that have brute strength or natural abilities already, and they create a lot of bad habits in their first couple of years, and then they end up being a puller using a style that makes absolutely no sense for them anatomically or biomechanically for how tall they are, their strengths, that kind of thing. And it really just depends on the team that you're pulling with. So yeah, I would say that Lewis has probably got the upper hand in that match. He's also heavier, but I would still love to see the match. I want to see Lewis compete as much as possible because he's my homie, and especially if it's a match that I think is winnable for him. So we'll have to have a talk and see about it. I would highly, highly doubt that it would be the third, but yeah, we'll figure something out.
I'm about to say, is he back from Texas yet?
He is. He just got back from Texas. He's going to be coming over to my house tomorrow.
He had a tournament out there, didn't he?
No, just a practice, just a couple.
Okay. I thought he went for like a tournament and some time.
No, I believe he will be going back out there for a tournament.
No, that's right. There's a Texas. No, I'm thinking of Vegas. That's what I'm thinking of.
We are going to Vegas, and I believe he is also going to be going to a Texas tournament this year, and I don't know which one, but I do plan on trying to go with him. So we'll see. But yeah,
I have a question for you, John.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this. Who do you think, in your mind, personally, would be good for me right now?
As far as a match goes?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm just going to take a look at the list of names. Not necessarily on the rankings, but just in general.
It doesn't have to be on the ranking.
Just spitballing some names. I think Johnny would be fun. Johnny.
I already talked to him today. He doesn't want it.
Okay.
I was going to say, I feel like that's a big gap.
No, I do too. Apparently, oh, no. I'm wrong. It was Justin who they were trying to set up the match with you and him, wasn't it? Okay. It was not Johnny. I'm sorry. It was Justin. Justin would be a fun match. How do you do against Tim Costello?
Is that the one who just won his super match?
Yeah.
Last time I pulled him at my place, I was getting him a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have you winning that match. But he's in a higher weight class than you. And he's bigger than you. But I would say that strength wise and experience wise, you take that match. I don't like this match, although I've always wondered about it. And this is when you were heavier, but you and Julius. The thing about Julius is like 280 pounds right now, and on your way down, to me, that doesn't really make a ton of sense, you know.
But that actually might be one of the closest matches strength-wise, though. Because the other thing is, he's got to compete in a while, and if he's at or even maybe above what he was before, I don't feel like there's a long list of guys that are going to be above him.
No, and that's what I mean is there's only like a few dudes who I can really name that make really any sense.
Yeah, it's tricky.
None of them really make any sense for the rankings. But for fun, you know what I mean? Yeah. Justin, I mean, the heavier he gets and the lighter Justin's training partner gets. Have you ever pulled Spencer some more?
I don't. No, I don't think so.
Spencer's about 6'2". He's young. He's a really good low hand top roller. So his style would give you problems, but you're still stronger than him and you have quite a bit of experience in him. But he's so young and he's making such weight gaps. Like when he first started arm wrestling, he was like 200 pounds. Now he's like almost heavier than I am. He's like 220 something. So that in time will be fun. But right now, Justin would give you more fits. And then, like I said, you know, Justin Maynor.
Did you? If I'm super familiar with him.
Did you go?
He's a football player.
Yeah, you went to his practice with all your handles and stuff. He had the Hope Church.
Oh, that's yeah.
That's Justin.
For some reason, yeah. Okay, he literally just bought a handle for me the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Duh. For some reason, like I look at his name and it doesn't look like it should be pronounced that way. It's got like an extra E or A in there.
He also hasn't been in our community really long enough for everyone to kind of tie him.
No, but he's strong. He's strong.
Really strong, dude. When I look at like the 220 to 199 class, brother, it's me, Eric. It's Tim, Eric, and then me. So of that, I would be the match. I don't think you have anything for Eric, and Tim is a whole nother conversation in himself. I don't know how you and me would do over a best of 5. I don't think that I would have much for you inside the straps, and I don't think that you'd have much for me outside the straps. And I think that's just basically how it would go. Whoever gets to the straps if you get to the straps, you're going to end up winning. But then under that, it's like Luke Loeffler, who I don't really think is a match. Rod Rob on the right, not a match.
Oh, plus they train all the time.
Yeah, and then it just gets significantly farther out from there. You know what I mean? So, like me and Ben said, there's only so many names that really make sense.
I know you said he wasn't really pulling it seriously lately, but I mean, maybe like Tito, like in that kind of range. But
yeah, and once again, Tito.
Like I said, I know he's not really pulling much, but it's a short list, man.
Yeah, and I would love
to find an opponent for Joseph.
Yeah,
you're just too damn good, Scott.
Technically, Scott is ranked 1 head above Tito.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Then never mind.
Yeah. So
but again, in the sense of trying to throw out rankings, just trying to have a fun match, just trying to get some competition going.
For sure. Yeah, no, I totally agree. All those names. I mean, if any of them make sense to you, or if any of them you're interested in, then hi, Crystal.
Hey.
So if any of them are interested to you, dude, let me know. If you want some ready goes and you don't care about rankings, or you just want some ready go practice, bro, you and me can do whatever you want.
And also, I don't know if you've seen it, but you still got to talk to Luis. But Ron said he will be around on the 3rd.
I'm in Gilbert, just busy guy. I will be there on the 3rd. There you go. Lewis, we'll have to see because, and I'm going to call him in a little bit, but we'll have to see because he had a pretty taxing trip in Texas. I mean, and now he is coming over tomorrow, and we're supposed to not pull much. So yeah, we'll see. I'll talk to him and see if I can convince him.
That was one of those times where I watched his practice video and it just made me feel weak because I know how strong he is, and I was watching him get manhandled, and it's like, oh God, there must be some monsters over there.
Yeah, and that's what he said. He goes. I was struggling with literally everybody out there. He
Oh,
goes,
that's what it looked like. I was watching this video and like every single person looked like they were getting the better of it. And I'm like, oh, I know how good he is. So that just means everyone else must be just off the charts.
we must be watching different videos because I saw his left getting beat up by some of the bigger guys, but some of the other matches, some of the other videos that some of the other guys that I was watching him with, I was like, Lewis, you look fucking strong, bro. I look like, what the hell? You look like you're teaching a little bit, like you're helping, like you're holding. It's like, who are you? I was like, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I think it might have been his most recent one. I maybe missed that part. But
his
yeah,
left,
there was definitely some savages out there.
his left is not like even the top 3 in those practices.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy when you know how strong Lewis's left is.
Oh, yeah, and he's got a crazy hand.
Yeah. Yeah. For
By the
sure.
way, is it Lewis or Luis? I don't want to be getting it wrong.
It's Lewis.
Okay, I always call him Luis.
No, it's Lewis.
Okay.
Ron or Scott, which one do you think makes the most sense out of all those people, or do you think any of them make any sense for you?
Well, I know you guys were talking about that, Justin. So, you know, if he does want to pull, that's fine. I don't mind. But
Yeah.
no, I would say more concentrate on that tournament that's coming up. You know,
Right.
for me personally, like I said, I don't mind super matches. I'll pull. You know, I'll do whatever.
I say, so you signing up then?
No.
Had me excited.
Yeah.
I want you already discussed it with him to put a super match on hold even before this tournament. So let's just have him do this tournament first, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Yeah, I would agree.
Obviously, I want him to get more experience with the tournament settings. Also, I don't mind super matches. I like super matches because I'd rather see him succeed more in a tournament setting. You know, to encourage his multiple pullers that he could be going up against to train that way and practice, and then jump into super matches.
Yeah.
Get more experience that way. You know.
Yeah.
Fill everybody out. That's how.
Oh, you're talking about Sid. Sorry, I thought you were talking about yourself.
No, talk about Justin.
No, he's not talking about Sid.
No.
Oh. Well, you're not doing the tournament. So am I getting confused here? What I miss?
You're getting confused here.
Yeah, no, we were talking about Justin versus Scott, and I'm working with Justin. So what we're talking about is Justin getting ready for the tournament.
Oh, I thought Scott was doing okay. That's where I mixed up.
I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong, but you do not plan on doing the Battle of the Brave East versus West qualifiers.
That's what I just asked him. He said no.
Right.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Yeah.
You do plan on doing it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
so you're just being sarcastic.
No, I thought you said the super match with Justin. I said no.
Yeah.
No, you said no. Okay, maybe I asked the question at the wrong time because
Correct.
you were
Correct.
talking about that, but then you had specifically said because you were getting ready for the tournament, and so then I said, so you're signing up, and then that's when you said no.
So
Correct.
that's the March 3rd one, right?
Second, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah. No, the thing was, Ben, that you don't know was that me and Scott and Justin had prior talks before this about potentially doing a super match between them. But the holdup was how soon the Battle of the Brave comes and whether or not it would be smart to do something for the rankings that quick for somebody who's really has never even had a super match. Justin's never really had a super match. Now, I will say I might bite my word and bite my tongue. I'm supposed to see Justin tomorrow first thing in the morning before the East versus West qualifier start or the East versus West pay-per-view starts. And I'm going to talk to him about whether or not he has any interest with at what point maybe doing some practice ready goes. I don't care whether it's for rankings. I don't care if it's a best of 5, a best of 3. I don't care if it's whatever. But if there is going to be somebody, it sounds like the most sense that it would make would be for you to be that person, Scott. So obviously we'll ahead of time make something, apparent and confirmed and that kind of thing. But as of right now, our focus, me and Justin's focus, has been doing as best as we can at that Battle of the Brave East versus West qualifier and training up to that. If I feel like, or if he feels like we need some ready goes, then I'll be in touch. But
Justin weighing?
What's up?
What's Justin weighing?
250.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. He had plans on trying to, as of the 1st of February, start cutting to make 230 to 230 for the cap, so he wasn't arm wrestling the super heavies. But if he doesn't, he doesn't. I'm not really too worried about it.
So I'm gonna have to deal with him.
Yeah.
Are
Well,
you, Dino? Are you seeing something else that we're not with Justin and Sid?
That might have been going off of my fuck up.
I think so, because Sid would be too much.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sid's King's move is going to be too much.
Yeah, but if we're talking about or Scott and Justin, and Sid beats Scott, then
Yeah. So I think that would make the most sense. But if it doesn't happen prior to the Battle of the Brave, it would happen sometime in April or May, and that would be an actual super match, weight cap involved, on a card with other people, that kind of thing. Because there's two different types of super matches. There really is. There's the one that Steven and Edo are having, where there shouldn't be any care to it. It's practice. It's two guys just helping each other, but obviously they're going to take it seriously because they're competitive. And then there's, I'm getting myself prepared for something. I know this is 4 or 5 weeks out. I have a date set, whatever it is. I got this guy's name on the wall. There's a different feeling that comes with that. So he probably needs that at some capacity at some point. I just don't necessarily want to sign him up for it before I talk to him about it. So, but yeah, definitely would be a good match. He's a strong motherfucker. I know that.
So I'm looking forward to that tournament. It should bring out some names, hopefully.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of people are going to come out the woodworks. Another thing is it being in the first half of the year. Hopefully enough people are still in the whole new year, new me, and want to show what they can do. But I remember last year thinking, refereeing the Battle of the Brave, thinking to myself, dude, this is a really good turnout. Like, this is a really good turnout for a local tournament, not being Arizona State.
Where was it going to be at?
Well, last year was in Queen Creek at a big. You were there. It was at a big park.
The Highland Games, yeah.
Yeah, the Highland Games. It's the same spot.
Okay.
For what I know, I don't know that the venues is the same, but that would make sense.
Same location at the park, but it's supposed to be somewhere else on the field this year.
Yeah. Maybe Eric Wolf had to try very hard to pin Justin at your practice. Just my view on Justin's level. No, he definitely gives Eric some fits on the arm.
Really?
But this is like fresh for fresh, and once again, out practice is so much different than a ready go. So that's a lot of what Justin needs his work on. I mean, you are not wrong by saying that this human is strong coming into this already very strong. We just need to put some pieces together, technique wise, for him to be able to really use his strength in the right way. And dude, sky's going to be a limit for that dude, especially if he can decide to cut some weight and maybe walk around to like the 232s.
That's the thing. He doesn't look like a 250 guy.
He doesn't.
Like, he's about my height. He's a tall guy, but he's not like super wide.
No, I mean, he's just living his dad life. He's
really
built
like Ed, just a little taller.
Yeah, he's just not really. I mean, once again, we all have been there where it's like, okay, I don't gotta compete or cut weight for anything. Cool, I'll just do whatever the fuck I want and be a dad. And now that, I mean, he was in the NFL, so he was a big boy. But now being a part of arm wrestling and taking it seriously, I feel like he's starting to get that. Okay, now I might cut again and shed some lbs so that I'm more competitive. Because I told him, I go, you would be a world killer. Like, you'd be really good at just below the super heavies, but I don't know whether or not your hand is the right size to compete with some of these guys who, like, this is a great example. Reagan, he can't do nothing with Reagan.
Man,
can't do a thing. But once again, it's because his hand is so dominant and Justin's hand is so small, so
I'd really like to pull that guy.
Who, Reagan?
Yeah.
You'd have him on arm strength, but I mean, literally, you would have to slip every single time, and it would be very hard for you to slip.
I'm not pulling for. I just want to,
Yeah,
like, it's starting to sound like, even if it's just for fun, that might be a match. Like, you're saying he's a little bit better than Ed. Like, we know the Scott's in that category.
Reagan?
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to set up Reagan versus Tito, and if Tito doesn't come out of the woodworks and want to arm wrestle, then
I mean, literally the next guy up.
Exactly. Yeah. But once again, Reagan's taking this left-handed match for money. He's very invested in competing a lot in 2024. He is someone who would care about activity and moving around. And so that would be something important for him. That's not just oh, we'll just have some fun type scenario.
No, he's one of those. He's invested.
He's going to take it seriously. So that would be something that Scott, in just in all honesty, you'd probably have to fucking train for, because he's not a joke.
I'm just saying, he's starting to get me excited. That sounds like it might be the thing to do.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it might be a good match. We have hit the 2-hour mark.
Oh yeah, we should probably.
I
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much for having me for the first time, John. Appreciate it.
Dude, I enjoyed it thoroughly. Don't be surprised if I ask you to come back on.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Armcombat.com. It was always good seeing you, Scott. Thank you
All right,
very much,
brother.
guys. I'll see you guys later.
Scott,
Have a
have a
good
good night, brother.
Later, bro.
For all you guys tuning in tonight, we thoroughly appreciate it. Arizona Arm Wrestling thrives and gets bigger every week. Hopefully these kind of things are a part of that growth. If you tuned in tonight and stayed for the whole show, you got to see a lot of call outs, a lot of activity, a lot of stuff going on. So bear in mind that going on for the next few Fridays, you are more than welcome to be on this live. If you got something that you want to say, something that you want to add, someone you want to call out, I'd love to have you guys. Let's get super strong together. And Arizona Arm Wrestling, always. Go to Armtillery and sub if you're not already. Sub out, baby.